Back to school time is definitely upon us, and as a mother of 5 that has been doing this for over 15 years, I've got tons of tips and tricks to help you along the way. I've made several videos on the channel with my tips and tricks, and I came up with something fun for today's video. The first one I ever did full of back to school tips and tricks was 5 years ago. So what I'm going to do is actually go back and forth and show you if I still use those tips, if they are still valid, and how I may or may not have changed them since 5 years has gone by, and even more practice, because every year I learn something new. There is a learning curve to this, but hopefully these tips and tricks will make the school year transition a lot easier for you and your kid, whether it's your first year sending your baby off or you have a high school senior. I've got tips for everyone. And of course, the thunderstorm gets worse right when I'm trying to talk to you guys. So for tip number 1, let's go back to 2021, Rachel.
Go through all of your kids' stuff and see if they have outgrown everything, if they need a new backpack, if they need new shoes, socks, underwear, you name it. You need to go through all of their stuff and make a list of what they need.
Yes, I still use that tip to go through all of your kids' clothes, socks, shoes, backpacks, water bottles, lunch boxes, every single item before you go buy new, because you don't want to waste your money just because, oh hey, it might be the latest and best thing. If their item is still 100% perfect, save some money. This is a full bag of clothes donation from Brianna's drawers, Gwen's drawers, and Declan's drawers.
Shoes and backpacks are one area I will splurge because kids destroy them. And if they have a good quality one, it helps better. Just like their backpacks, they're gonna be putting them on concrete, they're gonna be dragging them around by the bottoms, especially the younger kids. So if their backpack has a reinforced bottom, that is a better way to go, and it's less likely to get holes before the second half of the school year. As well as their shoes, if they've got good quality running shoes, when they're on the track and playing all their sports and doing PE, it helps them last you longer.
Another very valid tip, I do believe shoes and backpacks are the place to get quality items, but I still buy them on sale. Declan shoes for this school year are Adidas. They are name brand, good quality running shoes. However, these are bought on sale at Kohl's. They are so much sturdier, and this is what you want to look for because kids will wreck their shoes, especially the younger kids. Gwen, she gets Skechers because they hold up really well, but she always gets at least 2 pairs. She needs a backup pair because, for one, Declan will also have 2 pairs of shoes. Always have a backup pair of shoes that are school regulation. My kids can't go to school in sandals or flip-flops, anything like that. And there have been numerous mornings where I can't find my shoes, Mom. Where are my shoes, Mom? Even though we have a designated spot for the shoes and they're supposed to go in there every night. We're human. Things happen. Have a backup pair of shoes so you're not late for school trying to find their shoes. Backpacks. This is Brianna, my high schooler from last year. And aside from one little spot down here where it's got a ruined spot, it has been cleaned, washed, ready to go for this school year. It was a nicer backpack, slightly more expensive, but still on a really good sale. And this thing will probably last her. It was freshman year last year. This is gonna be sophomore year. And she might even keep this for junior year. Senior year, she wants to take one of them little kid backpacks, and I'm totally for that.
For that 2 to 3 week window time before school starts, 1, getting your kids back on their sleep schedule.
Getting the sleep schedule back on track is definitely one we have to do around here because I let my kids go completely off schedule for summer. This week is the 2-week back to school mark for us, and it's going somewhat well getting them back on track, but we are struggling, and I'm glad I'm doing it now and not within that first weekend of back to school. It would be awful. So no, 2 weeks out, we are definitely working on resetting that sleep schedule right now.
Second thing, when kids all get back together after summer and they're all right there in that classroom, a kind of nasty sickness crud hits. Every school year, never fails. It's happened all through my kids' school year. So the best thing I do is I do pump vitamins.
That crud is a real thing that I'm talking about. When all the kids, especially if you're a parent of an elementary school kid, when they all get together, you know what I'm talking about with that sickness in the classrooms, and the kids usually miss school sometime within that first 2 to 4 weeks of school. So yes, my kids are all on their vitamins. This one right here specifically boosts the vitamin C, which is my younger kids. This is my high schooler, and they are all on their vitamins, so hopefully we don't get any calls from the nurse's office, even though I'm prepared for one.
I like to freezer prep breakfast. That way it's easy to pop and go. These are just some waffles. I will literally let them cool and freeze them. The kids can pop them in a toaster before school, and they've got that. Or we can even do pancakes pop them in the microwave and they're good. You can batch these out over the weekend. Lunch, you can also do that ahead of time. You can make Uncrustables. I got this little thing right here off of Amazon. Or you can make these little turkey sandwiches.
When it comes to snacks, I used little pre-packaged ones like this. I keep this basket in the pantry so the kids can just come in, grab one, throw it in their bag, and then snack time is taken care of. Or if they want to throw a piece of this in their lunchbox, they can too. Yummy spot and a go-go squeeze spot. These are always full like this too for snack time or lunchtime. And then the rest of the cookies, snacks, goldfish. As far as the breakfasts, lunches, snacks, all of that, my setup has changed over the years, and it is always ever changing because what my kids liked last school year to eat for lunch, they're already telling me they don't want this year. We're even watching YouTube videos of other moms packing lunch boxes so I can give my kids some ideas and be like, hey, will you eat that? So all those are ever changing. I do still like to prep on a Sunday or Saturday morning, whichever day I'm making breakfast. I like to prep pancakes and waffles and have them in my freezer. I do have a designated spot for the lunches and for the kids to be able to go and help me pack their lunches in the morning. None of it is set up yet, and my refrigerator is not clean and my pantry is not clean. So I apologize for showing you all of that mess. But I do still have a designated spot for all their stuff, for their snacks, for an easy grab in the mornings. But our lunches have definitely changed and progressed from this point. Now, do I still recommend all of the lunches and everything that I have said over the last 5 years in my tips videos? Absolutely, they're easy and delicious. My kids have just gotten a little extra picky on me this year. There's nothing worse than a squish sandwich in my opinion, and I don't like using a whole bunch of plastic bags if I don't have to, so I get something reusable like this. Make sure your child can open everything. The Ziploc bags, the containers, whatever you send, your child needs to be open on their own. Our lunchbox containers have also upgraded over the years, and we have a ton of options. Little boxes for like homemade Lunchables. My daughter's got the ones that have like the full big divided everything for salads and sandwiches and stuff for high school. Thermoses are great. You can heat up food, put it in here, and keep it warm for them. All of my kids love the thermoses, as well as stuff like this. Because the tip for the kids being able to open everything on their own is still one of the most important ones. They have to be able to open and close every item in their lunchbox on their own, especially if you are a brand new kindergarten parent. Ooh, big thunder. If you are a kindergarten parent, preschool parent, first grade parent, the staff can help your kid open their stuff, but there's a whole bunch of kids in that lunchroom at one time, and your kid might not get the full span of time to eat. And I know those kids already eat pretty slow as it is. So just make sure they can open and close whatever you send in their lunchbox so they don't have to wait for a staff member. Juice boxes and pouches were a big one for my daughter. She had trouble with the straw going into the pouch, but she could easily do the box. So for kindergarten and first grade, she did not get a pouch until the very end of first grade. Everything I sent was a juice box because then she could at least get started on her drink too, while she was getting into her lunch, and she didn't have to wait for someone to come help her with the straw.
I do like to make sure I put a little note in there. It's fantastic. It just shows a little bit that you care. It makes them really excited when they find it in their lunchbox, but you do not have to go the full-blown extra route. You can literally just write a cute little note on their napkin or a piece of paper and call it good.
I still send lunchbox notes. I have plenty because I don't use them all school year. I use them about the first week or two. I use them on like the special holidays, special occasion lunches, but that's about it. Otherwise, I don't do them. But I have plenty to go around. And if I didn't have these, yes, I do still believe in just writing it on a napkin and letting it go. The reason I still very much advocate for these though, Declan, when he was in kindergarten or first grade, one of them, I had to do the notes extended because he held onto it like a trophy. He would look for it in his lunch, read it in his lunch, and then he would carry it around, show it to his teacher, show it to his specials teacher, and it was a big deal. And this went on for, goodness, 6-7 weeks where he was like that. So yes, I advocate for the lunchbox note. And on the first day and special boxes, I do sneak them into my high schooler if I can.
My kids get a little traditional treat every year. I throw it in their lunchbox for their first day of school, and I give it to them in the car on the last day of school. But that's just these little Smarties candies right here.
The bag of Smarties is still a tradition in our home as well. I started that all the way back when Tristan, my oldest, was in elementary school. and I use it for the first day and the last day of school. I don't have my bag yet to show you guys because we're still about a little less than 2 weeks now out, but I usually buy that when I do my final trip, so you will see that in my prep video. I will be doing the prep video about 3 to 4 days out from when they go back to school, and then I will do that Sunday reset for the Sunday before they go to school, as well as a first day video, so you guys can see all this in action and then see how it can help you in your routine getting your kids off for back to school.
And it involves the way that you hang your kids' clothes. Now you could get one of them divided things. It's got like the 5 holes and put an outfit in each hole, but these are another way to go.
Our clothing organization has changed some, but I do still very much believe in the hangers with the clips, as well as one of those accordion things in the closet, because Gwen still does use the accordion thing in her closet, although right now it's got a few pieces that don't belong in here that are going to be donated at her Meet the Teacher. We do a uniform swap thing, so that's why there's pieces that I have to designate. Declan, he doesn't use the hangers anymore. I will do a few pieces that way, but for the most part, all of his uniforms now go in the bottom drawer of his dresser. Shirts on one side, bottoms on the other. He grabs one of each and is ready to go.
I like to have a homework station in my house, somewhere where the kids have access to school supplies no matter what.
At-home homework station is still a must. Again, ours keeps evolving as the kids get older, but there have been way too many times over the years my kids have come home and they're like, hey mom, that project's due tomorrow that they didn't tell me about 2 weeks ago, and we're trying to do it in one night and get everything together. One of my kids brought home like this aquarium project they had to make in a shoebox, didn't say a word until the night before. Luckily, I still had stickers and stuff from when my kid previously did it like 2 years prior. So I hold on to all kinds of supplies: pens, pencils, markers, crayons, scissors, glue, tape, staplers. I have everything you can think of to make life a little bit easier. I keep in my personal closet construction paper, fat markers for like poster boards, everything you can think of. I keep a homework station on hand. My younger 2 kids' school does not assign homework. Brianna's school does. The majority of it is on the computer now, but even if she needs a pencil, a pen, hers breaks, hers stops working, I've got everything she could need right here, ready to go.
Day of is going to be insane. If this is your first time dropping your kid off, it can be a little bit overwhelming, a little bit emotional. Car lines suck. Picking your kids up and dropping them off for the first couple days, plan a little extra time, because I know when I pick my kids up from car line on the first day of school, I'm in that car line in that afternoon at least an extra 20 minutes.
One of my favorite tips from that video, and one of my favorite tips to this day, on that first day, and especially maybe even that first week, an extra 10 to 15 minutes in the morning is going to save you. Traffic is crazy, buses are back on the road, new parents are on the road. All car lines do suck and take a lot longer, especially the parents who have not done it yet. They get out a little extra, they take longer to get their kid out of the car. That extra 10 minutes, 15 minutes will save you. On that first day, you take pictures. And if you're not thinking about that now, you're gonna lose some time there too. Your kid might not wanna wear that shirt. They might get breakfast on their shorts. An extra 10 to 15 minutes is all I'm saying, and it will save you a lot of trouble.
My back to school pictures, they're all over on my Instagram. You can go check them out. I have done everything from printing out signs on my computer to literally buying signs in the store. Like this little special one right here, you can find these in Target. I've even gone to the point some years where I have handed them a white piece of paper to hold in front of them and smile, and I have filled that in with an editing app or on my computer with just, you know, what school year it was, what day that is, you know, first day of kindergarten.
I love the first day of school pictures, and I will never stop doing them. I've got them from Tristan all the way up, and Aiden, he just graduated. I've got his all the way up too. The sign, I no longer have that Apple sign. I decluttered that 3 years ago. But I do still believe in the holding up paper, getting whatever sign you want, as elaborate as you want. I print my own. I've made them for the last several years. I keep them in my junk journal. This is not my current, this is last year's junk journal, but I actually turn them into pieces for my junk journal. But my kid has the sign with whatever school year it is, whatever grade they're going into, and they hold it up for me all nice and pretty and take the picture. But instead of it being a store-bought one or a piece of paper that I fill in, I've made it and I just keep changing the grade on it and keep reusing the exact same ones. But that's all the tricks from the 2021 video 5 years ago. Sounds crazy. It even sounds more crazy that my kids go back to school, and I think it's 11 days now. Insane how fast summer went. As far as any additional tips that I have learned over the years, there are the other videos, but that one about giving yourself extra time is killer. It is absolutely going to save you so much struggle in the mornings. Another one that's not in this one, if you've watched any of my nighttime routine videos, I set out as much stuff as I can, the water bottle, the lunchbox, anything non-perishable, the kids' folder, if they had to take it out for anything in particular. It all goes on my kitchen counter, so in the morning, it's one less thing I've got to worry about. Everything is just sitting right there waiting for me, and it helps a lot, and it saves you a little extra time in case whatever chaos consumes in the morning. Gwen just reminded me of another tip. If you have elementary school kids specifically, it happened with my middle schoolers, not really with my high schoolers, but elementary, have extra water bottles, extra lunch boxes, and extra ice packs. I know that sounds crazy, but my kids each have at least 2, if not 3 water bottles and 2 lunch boxes, because they will leave them at school and go, oh crap, I left my water bottle. And then you don't have one to send them the next day, or you don't have something to pack their lunch in. Bring extras. My kids, sadly, I used to buy the little penguin ice packs. They'd play with them. The kindergartners, they'd play with them in the lunchroom, and then who knows what would happen to them, and they wouldn't come home. I have a freezer drawer full of ice packs for that very reason, because kids play with them and lose them. If you have preteen kids, deodorant. Just save us all. Save the gym teachers. Save the staff. Buy a stick of deodorant. Throw it in their backpack. Just help us all. Spray will work. The stick, don't care. Deodorant for your preteens or anyone anywhere near puberty or already in it. Deodorant. I've got more, but I can't even think of them right now, and I just want to go and have some fun with my family before summer vacation's over. But thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it more than you know. I hope these tips and tricks help you and make the transition back to school very easy for you and your children, whether it's your first year or your 12th year doing this. I really hope some of these do help you, because I know they have helped me immensely over the years. Thumbs up, subscribe, all that. Plenty more back to school videos coming up behind this one, but otherwise, I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of summer. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.